Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And real quick, just go ahead and talk about parts 1 and 2 of Justice League X RWBY. Superheroes and Huntsmen part 1 and 2 on 4K. And you know what? They look freaking phenomenal in 4K. They really do. Now, going into this one, I thought the best way to talk about this would be once I had part 2 in my hand. Because part 1 came out back during the summer. Part 2 just came out at the very end of October. And the best way I could talk about this is because Justice League, obviously I'm a big DC fan. I know a lot about Justice League. RWBY, knew nothing about the franchise whatsoever. So going into this, I was a little apprehensive, not really knowing what to expect. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised because not knowing anything about RWBY, I didn't really know what to expect. Part 1 takes place basically in their world, in the world of RWBY, and I'm sure there's a different way to pronounce it besides just spelling it out every single time. But just bear with me. Like I said, I know nothing about the franchise or the characters, but the characters I will say are pretty endearing, and I did enjoy the characters within the parts 1 and 2 of this. I guess you can say crossover event for DC. Like I said, part 1, it seems more, the anime style really comes across more with part 1. It's still apparent in part 2, but part 2, because it takes place, you know what, with any spoilers, like I said, you can stop right now and you can go check these out, or you can continue on with the video. The part 2 takes place mostly, it's in the DC world. That's basically where it's taking place. So they kind of like alternate between the RWBY world and the Justice League world, the real world, basically. And, mostly Gotham, to be exact. But I did enjoy this. It's more of it comes across more of a mystery, because these characters are brought together in this world. Two entities have brought them together. One from the Justice League world and one from the RWBY. Two villainous entities. And trying to figure out exactly who these people are that are responsible for this. And part 1 does a good job of keeping you guessing on, keeping you on your feet, not knowing exactly who the villain is. And by the end, of course, you finally kind of figure things out, exactly where they're kind of go with the second part. But like I said, I enjoyed. I've heard some people say part 1, and again, I apologize for any spoilers, but with this particular thing, it's a little hard to talk about this without getting into spoilers, because it can be a little hard to understand what's going on with this without doing any kind of spoilers. But part 1, I heard some people say that part 1 is better. I enjoy part 2 better, personally. I think mostly because it does take place in Gotham. It does take place in that DC world. So I think that definitely comes across a lot better. And I just think the animation is better in part 2. Plus, we get some more DC characters that are brought into it that were not in part 1, brought into part 2. But I enjoyed it. I thought that the interaction between both different franchises worked well. I think because you had counterparts to both things. You had the leader of RWBY and the leader of the Justice League, being Superman, kind of working together, and kind of having that working off one another. And I enjoyed that, the interaction between all the different characters. I did. Part 1, basically, when they go to the RWBY world, our Justice League characters are transformed back into teenagers. And I liked what they did with Bruce Wayne, with the Batman character in that one. But I'm saying, even if you are on the fence because it does have a franchise that you might not understand, you might not be familiar with, or because it's has an anime style to it, I'm telling you, don't let that fool you. These are definitely too solid. And you know what? I mean, with some of the recent DC animated, I've enjoyed them, some more than others, but these were both really, really solid. I had to revisit this one again just to kind of refresh my memory, but yeah, definitely worth checking these out if you get a chance. This one you can, I think, catch on sale right now for Black Friday sales on Amazon. Part 2 not on sale yet, but yeah, definitely if you're a Justice League fan, if you're a fan of both of these franchises, definitely worth checking this out. Like I said, it has more of that mystery. There's action in it. Not so much comedy or anything like that mixed in, but I think it works. I think these franchises work, and I would like to see maybe a part 3 at some point. I think that would be pretty cool. So yeah, definitely Justice League X RWBY. Superheroes and Huntsmen, Part 1 and 2 on 4K. Like I said, they look beautiful, sound beautiful. Definitely worth checking both of these titles out. So like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care.